let us go on to the Q&A session. So, as you may or may not know, I have been posting a bunch of questions. I've been asking people to go to my account, curiouscat.me/graxbishop, to ask me questions for this Q&A session. And you can ask these questions anonymously, if you'd like, or you can put your actual name down if you sign up for an account. Is she someone you met locally or through online? I met her online. She talked to me first online, which was when I knew she was actually something really, really special, because usually I approach girls online, leave a message and whatnot, and nothing occurs from it, but it was the other way around. So I jumped on the opportunity, and I'm glad I did. So, going on to curiouscat.me, let's pick it up from the last set of questions. Let's see, where is it? Starting with... Where is it? Here we go. So, Anon, 22 days ago, asked the question, do you stand up or remain seated to wipe after the toilet time? I always sit down. I sit down and I remain seated when I do the toilet time. I don't quite understand how people raise their ass up from the toilet seat to take a dump and to wipe. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, that doesn't make any sense at all. Why would you do that? And the thing is, right, I have seen cases where shit stains are on the front of the bowl and not the back. So if you can imagine this, you're taking a shit and your shit goes down and it hits the back of the bowl and leaves a skid mark. That's understandable. That makes sense. Why and how does it leave a skid mark on the front of the bowl? I don't understand. And don't get me started about the idea of why people don't like to sit on the toilet bowl. Just sit on the toilet bowl. You're not going to get any diseases from it. So yeah, that's what I think about that question. So I sit down when I wipe. Just checking on that. Okay. Next question is from Anon, 22 days ago. Do you ever delete videos from YouTube or do you keep them all up? Excuse me. I don't delete my videos, but there have been a couple of videos which I've censored, which I have made private and nobody can view them for different reasons. One of the reasons which I can talk about was one of them was actually very offensive. You may or may not have seen this video, and it was just me taking a piss take out of the rain dance. The premise is, I was due to go to a punting party for my friend Sibo a long, long time ago, and I didn't want it to rain, so I did a rain dance, but I did a parody rain dance. The rain dance being a Native American practice where Native Americans many, many years ago would get into like a trance state and attach hooks onto their flesh, onto their chest and everything, and tug at the flesh and induce pain to themselves to appease the sun gods and everything. I wasn't in blackface, but I was topless, and I was doing a terrible dance, and I had clips, those paper clips, those little clampy clips which hold a bunch of paper together. Yeah, I put those on my nipples to simulate the pain, and I was holding a bit of mincemeat to simulate the head of the skull and everything like that. Yeah, it wasn't clever, and it was kind of funny, but it wasn't clever. And I noticed that video was starting to get lots of views, and then I was getting lots of comments saying, "This is really offensive. You should take this down. You're insulting the Native Americans. This is really offensive. I hope you had a terrible day. This is really offensive, and I want you to die." You know, all these kinds of comments. So I thought, okay, you're right. That was offensive. I do apologize, and there was nothing clever about it, so it didn't deserve to be online. So I made it private, and I should probably delete it, but I made it private because that's as good as, and nobody will ever see it. Tom says, I want to see that offensive video. I will show you that video in person. I don't want to give you the link because it might fall into the wrong hands with the internet. And Michael's right. Michael and Andy didn't write that joke. And this is an interesting thing about me. You can tell when I've written something and when Michael and Andy have written something. I sometimes I write offensive things. So yeah, bottom line is that video, which I made private, I do apologize. After the Grax calendar, will there be any more Grax merch? There might be. I haven't really thought about that, and I think that I got the potential for more merch. Well, the thing is, I wouldn't mind doing a 2020 calendar in the future and like have it professionally done. But maybe that's taking the joke too far and not being funny. My face and mugs, that could work. The trouble with that is, with the merchandise, is there are two routes one could take. Everyone remembers the Grax brilliant kill all the N-word sketch? I didn't do that sketch. That doesn't exist. Thanks, Pete. So yeah, there's two routes with the merchandise route. One is you can actually produce all the merchandise yourself, make it really, really cheap, buy it in bulk, and distribute it yourself. So you keep 100% of the profit, but you have 100% of the risk. The other route is you find another company like what was it called? Spreadshirt or something along those lines of Vistaprint. No, not Vistaprint. Spreadshirt. Where you upload a design to them. They have the responsibility in printing and ordering on whenever they like. And whenever a customer orders something, they print it and you take a bit of a profit. The downside of that is your profit margin is very small. You take like say a quarter of the total price of the t-shirt. And the thing is about that is the customer has to pay more for this merch. And that doesn't seem like a fair choice. So yeah, I would need to properly think about how I want to do that. And do I want to store like 6 boxes of Grax mugs and pens to people who might not end up buying it? We'll see. There's the answer to that. Will you release an album? Yes, I will release an album someday. I have an idea for an album. The idea is Christmas songs. I want to write a Christmas album for Christmas songs that I that I would like to make for Christmas songs, which includes things like I just want to write original music for Christmas songs. And the reason why I want to do that is because it's a great money-making idea. I mean, you are set for life if you actually create a Christmas song that is memorable and people want to play every year. Royalties, man. I mean, that's why the band Darkness did that Christmas song. They're in the charts every year for Christmas. I mean, they're not being very high, but they're constantly being played. That's money. That's cash money, baby. And I want a piece of that action. Ultimately, I do encourage you all to write your own Christmas song, and you could be set for life. But that's my plan. I'm going to create a Christmas album. Let's see. Let's see. Tom says, make a Grax Funko Pop. PDT would love it. And PDT says, there's already a Grax Funko Pop as any bold character. You are correct, sir. Although maybe I could paint on a little bit Jason Statham stubble. Next question. Oh, by the way, that was from Anon 22 days ago. And this question from Anon 22 days ago. I am reading through your bucket list on your website. Does the Grax Stream tune count as write and record my own theme song? If not, will you record one? It kind of does, doesn't it? I don't know. That's a good question. What do you think, chat? The jingle that I play at the beginning, I bought the sound from a musician, which is like go to audiojungle.com and I bought the jingle, bought the rights for it, so I have the rights to use it whatever I like, and then I added my lyrics. Do you guys think that counts as? Do you think that counts as writing my own theme song? Because if you think it does, then I'll say, yes, I have done it, and I'll cross it off the list. If not, then the journey will continue, and I'll have to write the theme song in the future. But what do you guys think? PDC says no. I notice there are 6 people in the chat. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Whilst you are deciding that, let me just go and promote this stream on the internet. And by all means, everybody else, feel free to promote this stream on the internet. Oh my goodness. Wow, fuck. Fuck! At least I'm actually audible right now. There's no sex people in the chat. Or maybe Mike. I mean, that's fair enough. Oh, fuck off, Prime. Look, I'm trying to share. So the question is, would you think that my jingle counts as a theme song? I'm answering questions on Twitch. And now. Copy. Send. Yeah, motherfucker. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm swearing. Yep, there we go. I think it counts as a theme song. So very short these days. I just think it counts as you've written it, not fully. All right, yeah. So to answer that question, no, I haven't written the theme song. The journey continues. So back to the questions, which are right here. Thank you, Anon. Anon, 22 days ago, asks, how often do you update your bucket list? Very rarely. I kind of forgot about it a short while ago, and then I remembered that I managed to do a couple of items on it, which included having acupuncture applied to me. And I also remember when I kissed a girl which was smoking. I mean, that wasn't on the bucket list. It's just something I remembered. So infrequently, I ought to go back to that bucket list and not only update it, cross off more items that are completed, but actually do some of those things. Anon asks, favorite video game ever? I would say my favorite video game... I don't have one favorite video game. I have like a favorite series. I'm a fan of the Street Fighter fighting series. I like fighting games. That's my forte. That's going to. I like the Killer Instincts games. And I have been playing a lot of Dragon Ball FighterZ recently on the PlayStation 4. Shit, that game's really fun. It's just so easy to do a whole bunch of good combos and then find the right combinations, but it takes time to master it. And I'm so glad that they got Series 2 out of Dragon Ball FighterZ with more characters coming along. So yeah, I am a fan of fighting games. But I don't have one favorite genre games. I have a favorite genre. Anon asks, 22 days ago, would you record a new podcast? And the answer is yes. I don't know when, but I would record a new podcast. Although, as I mentioned in the previous Q&A session, myself, Michael, and Andy are planning to do a new mini podcast series in the near future. Michael, I know you're in the chat right now, so do feel free to chime in and either confirm or deny these rumors. But yeah, I would like to do a podcast. I was considering taking the audio file from these sessions, turning it into a podcast, and then uploading onto iTunes and all that kind of stuff. Just to see if people would actually be interested, and just to see if people would prefer to listen to me on their podcasting when they're doing their own favorite thing, like exercising or walking. Why they would walk, I don't know. But, or the thing is, because I only do these like once a month, I don't know if it's worthwhile. Yes, that's it. I am going to be doing another podcast. I just remembered when I get around to recording all these creepypasta stories I'm now going to narrate, that will be on YouTube, but that'll also be on podcast format. So you'll be able to listen to me if you don't want to watch me. So that is coming soon. Anon says 22 days ago, you're a good guy, Grax. Remember that. Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you very much. Anon asked 22 days ago, would you do a Brighton show again? I don't know. And the reason why I say I don't know is because never say never. I might want to do another show in the future, whether it be by myself or working with Andy and Michael again, or whether it be working with somebody else. But I want to take a break from the whole performing thing, performing on stage. I'm much more comfortable performing in front of a camera, in front of the internet, rather than being on stage. I don't know. There's something about having to do all that preparation and the nerves. I want a break from it. I mean, I'm happy to help out friends in terms of promoting their show because I know how hard it is to promote their show. But yeah, I do want to take a break. But I'm not saying that I'll never do a Brighton show again. I hope that answers your question, Anon. Speaking of Anon asks 22 days ago, how do you like back on the what? How do you like back on the stage of your life where you walk? How do you like back on the stage on the like? I think I was trying to say look. How do you look back in the stage of your life where you wore contacts? Would you do any different alternative styles, tattoos, piercings, things like that? I like that phase. I genuinely like that phase when I was wearing contact lenses to make myself look pupilless and irisless, because I wanted to be a cartoon character. I really like the thought of being a cartoon character. So I look back at them fondly, although I don't like the ones where it was just like no iris, but it still had the pupil. That just looks stupid. But being all without those things, that'd be quite cool. But I don't think I would be doing that again. I would like to get a tattoo, a real tattoo in the future, but I just don't know what yet. And that's one of those stories that will be ongoing. And maybe one day I will get a tattoo, but I don't know. Time will tell. Anon asked 22 days ago, favourite Mr. Men character? I don't really have one. I guess if I had to go put a gun to my head and I'd say Mr. Smiley. Shit, is that one of the guys? Hang on. Mr. Happy. Yeah, fuck it, that'll do. Mr. Happy. Great. Bumholes. I didn't want to do that. Oh, bumholes. It's all good. Oh, fuck. Oh, no, I've lost all the questions. Talk amongst yourselves, boys. Curious cat. Inbox. Here we go. Fuck. Ugh. Bollocks to you all. Not you. Oh, for fuck. Fuck. Here we go. Yes. I found it. Right. Anon asks 22 days ago, what's your most valuable possession? I can't think of anything except my laptop. And that's a boring answer, I admit, but the reason why I say it's my laptop is because I do my work on it. I do my video editing, I do my vlogging, I do my streaming on my laptop, and if I ever lost that, or if it broke down, I would be fucked. Mainly because I'd have to buy a new laptop, and I don't want to do that just yet. I don't want to do that just yet. I don't have the spare money to do so, which is why I'm letting this old-ass laptop over there go on for as long as I can. I mean, ideally, it probably just needs a cleaning, but yeah, I would say my laptop is probably my most valuable possession. It's a crap answer, and I'll probably have a better answer if I think about it. Unknown asks, 22 days ago, would you do... Would you do head face beard again? Shit on my ass. I'm getting bored. Oh, hold on a second. Auto-modded held a message for reasons identity allowed. Okay. I don't feel so bad about missing that. Yeah, that's fine. I'll allow that. I'll allow you to say the see you next Tuesday word. What? What? Oh, okay. Sorry, that the word cunt was censored, so I had to allow it. Head, face, beard. No, I probably won't, because I've done it, and I don't see another reason to do it again, unless there was like a good charitable reason for doing it. but just for the sake of it, no. Anon asked 22 days ago, would you ever do porn? I won't do porn that is public, as in it gets broadcast and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I mean, privately, that might be quite fun to do, but that's just like home video stuff. But porn would be something that's broadcasted for everyone to see. And I think the answer is no, I wouldn't. I mean, I certainly wouldn't with this body. I mean, if I had a super fit body with muscles and all that kind of stuff, and I had one of those penises that could just keep going on and on and on, maybe. I don't know. And especially if I was wearing a mask. But the trouble is, I'm quite a distinguished person. Grax is fighting with himself over whether to admit something to us. No, I don't think I would do porn. I'd do amateur private stuff. I'd film myself. I would film myself, but I wouldn't want everybody else to see it. And the thing is, I'd probably film myself, watch it back, and then delete it immediately afterwards because I just cannot risk that kind of stuff going into the wrong hands. Anon asked 22 days ago, is there anything you would spend £15,000 on? Huh. Oh, that's an interesting question. Quickfire answer is I would probably spend £15,000 on on updating my equipment, ranging from a new laptop to video recording and audio recording stuff. That would actually be useful for my future, and I would actually use that stuff for filming and doing audio work, which is what I want to do. Michael Bell asks in chat, have you ever made a sex tape? Because you clearly have. No, I haven't made a sex tape. I have not made a sex tape where I've had penetrative sex. No, I haven't done that. I haven't made a sex tape. No. You know how the people hate the sound of their own voice when it's on tape? Well, sex tapes are worse when reviewing the footage. That's an interesting point. No, a second. A bunch of stuff. What's going on the internet, boys? Is there anything for me? Probably. Oh well, never mind. The important thing is I'm live. Anon asks 22 days ago, when was the last time you pooed yourself? When did you last poo yourself? Probably when I was a baby. Although I will admit this, there have been a few times where I came very close to actually shitting myself as a grown-up. The most memorable one was when I was 22 years old. 22 years old, and I had the shits really, really bad. And I was like going through a recovery process. I was in Portsmouth at the time, and I was in my dressing gown, and I thought, you know what, I'm in my dressing gown, and I feel like having a fart. I could do it with a fart, and so I did a fart, and it was like, blip. I was like, oh shit. That was a bit too much. That was a bit too much of a wet one. Fortunately, none of it landed on the floor, but I feel like, oh, actually, my tight butt cheeks have just managed to contain the liquid of the poo liquid in my buttocks. So I was like, oh no, is this the time? So I didn't shit myself, but I did walk back to the toilet to, you know, actually take a shit. So diarrhea is a bitch, man. I mean, I had it over the weekend. This weekend has gone past for one day, and it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying having diarrhea. Fortunately, I was in the flat at the time, but just imagine if I wasn't. Anon asks, ever drunk wee? Have I ever drunk wee? 22 days ago, Anon asks. Yes, I have. Like, not like a whole pint of it, but I've like drunk my own. Like, well, whoops. I've drunk some wee, so I know what wee tastes like, but I don't do it as a habit thing. Yeah. But no, I wouldn't drink a whole pint of wee. That's disgusting. Anon asks, cats or moles? Instinct answer says cats. Cats is what I like more. Moles aren't very cool. Anon asked 22 days ago, Crash or Spyro? Spyro the Dragon, or Crash Bandicoot? And my answer is Crash. When I was blah, 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 PlayStation era, I was into Crash. I didn't really play Spyro. That whole thing kind of missed me, passed me by. I don't know if it was because I was too old for it, or I just kind of lost interest at that point. I think I had a Dreamcast or an N64 at that point. But yeah, Crash Bandicoot. I even bought Crash Bandicoot Trilogy Remake on the PlayStation 4 to play that recently. I might stream that later on, I don't know. Anon 22 days ago asks, do you like snooker? And the answer is, yes, I do like snooker. I find it's quite an interesting and relaxing game. And I like people watching it. I'm not very good at it, but I like watching it. It's one of those odd things. I like watching snooker, I like watching darts, I like watching poker, and I like watching football and all that kind of stuff. So, okay, there's a few questions coming up which I'll answer, which are good. And what I'll do is I'll jump towards the later questions, which have recently come in. So that it makes it interesting for the people who just asked me questions. So thank you very much for asking me questions. So I'll do another 20 minutes of this, and then I'm thinking about playing Catherine. Carry on with that. What do you guys think about that? So the next question, 22 days ago from Anon asks, would you do a daily vlog series? No. I wouldn't do a daily vlog series. My life isn't that interesting to do daily. And I know there are some people that... I know people that do a very daily vlog series, and more power to them. I just don't have the interesting content to do it. I have put on my list, on my bucket list, to do one of those 24-hour streams, and I would like to do that when I can pick a day that's actually relatively interesting. But doing it daily is not a good idea for me. I mean, for one thing, my life's not interesting, and another thing is I would have to edit the boring stuff down to something manageable, and I barely have enough time to do these edits. So, no. Okay, so PDT makes a very interesting point. You know, Grax, genuinely, if you tell people to ask you questions for a stream and they come on the stream and you don't bother answering them, they won't bother coming back. It wasn't your friend, and I generally would have thought twice before coming back. I understand your viewpoint. All these questions I have are anonymous, and all I can do is just ask them in order. I mean, I could pluck them at random, but and this is an interesting point, if you would like me to answer your questions, let me know what your questions are. I mean, ultimately, you can do something like, please make me anonymous, or you could even ask me questions on like Twitch or Twitter on direct messages. If you want to do it that way, that's absolutely fine. But virtually all these questions are anonymous. I don't know who is actually asking these questions, and that's the point of anonymous. And I know, PDT, you've asked me some questions, and I would like to answer some of the questions you've asked me, but I don't know what you've asked me. So yeah, and that's an interesting point. If you would like me to answer a question of yours, but you want to still remain anonymous, just tell me directly and mention it otherwise. It's not about knowing who wrote what, though. Probably everyone wants questions, man. They come to see you answering them. And I am answering the questions the best I can. But I'm just doing... I mean, maybe the other way would be just to answer these questions at random rather than in one after the other. I don't know. I mean, I will answer some of the later questions just to see what comes up. Anon asks, 22 days ago, ever nearly drowned? Yes. My mum tells me this story that I nearly drowned once when I was, I believe, about 6 or 7. As the story goes, I was in Cornwall many, many years ago, and I was swimming in the ocean, and the current was a bit too strong, and it almost drowned me. And my mum had to actually dive in and go and swim and to save me. She did. She managed to pull me out of the ocean just in time before I drowned. And I don't remember that incident before, but that's the story that she told me. But she did lose a ring in the process. So the answer is yes. I did nearly drown once. And I'm still here. A quick fire round. Okay, a quick fire round. that makes it. I mean, the only way I could do a quick fire round is if people start asking me questions in the chat right here. Okay, that's fair enough. How about that? I would be more than happy to answer questions in the chat. And maybe the idea of just picking questions at random on curiouscat.me would be more fair, and it would be more likely for me to answer questions in the recent time. How about that? Ask me some questions in a quick fire round in the chat. I think he means you could just give quick answers to most of the CC questions. You mean like carbon copy questions, or quick, or like the really short questions? Oh, right. So don't necessarily tell a story. Right. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. I just don't want to be the case of like going yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, that kind of stuff. I mean, if there's an interesting story to go by, but okay, well, let's try that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the very top of the list of questions and see what there is. So, like for example, this question here from Anon 22 hours ago. Oh, Curious Cat. Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Very good point. So Curious Cat Anon 22 hours ago said, "What is something that you're proud of yourself for?" I think some of the stuff I've done on my YouTube channels have been pretty fun. Some of those things I actually been pretty proud of. Is there anything that's come off the top of my head? Oh, this is great. Trying to answer the question quickly, and it's like, oh shit, I'm gonna really think about this. I'll tell you what. As much as I mock this answer, one of the proudest moments of my life is doing the whole waxing thing, having my whole body waxed and such, because it's quite extreme, and I don't know anybody else would have their entire body waxed like that to such an extent, and it raised a lot of money for a good cause. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. It's one of my most proudest moments. Next question. Anon asks, 1 hour ago, what's the biggest animal you could tie up with just using your hands? Just using my hands? What, you mean like... I'm guessing I have a bit of rope and just tie them up. I would say... Let's assume I don't have any training, right? I would probably go with... I would go with a corgi dog because they're about the smallest kind of size. I would like to go bigger, like for example a calf or a cow or something like that, but I got no training. So if I had some training from an expert, then something larger like that. Let's see. Anon asks, 21 days ago, have you ever drunk cum? If so, was it yours or was it somebody else? I haven't drunk cum, I have tasted cum, and yes, I have tasted my own cum. Because, well, you know, do it on a chest. You don't like it, licked it up, ate it. It's fine. It's just cum. It's fine. Let's see. So, Anon asks, 21 days ago, do you have any siblings? Yes, I have an older brother. Anon asks, 21 days ago, how would you solve Brexit? I fucking don't know, man. I have no earthly idea how you would solve Brexit. I mean, I was one of the Remainers. I said, I don't want to vote for this. I want to choose to remain because I believe that we are all collectively not intelligent enough. We don't have all the facts to be able to make such a huge decision. And I think it's really irresponsible for David Cameron to allow the public to decide on such an important decision. We should never have that vote. And I respect that there are plenty of intelligent people who can make the educated guess one way or the other. But I think there are plenty of other people who voted emotionally and maybe not made the right decision and were misinformed. But how to solve this problem now, I wouldn't want to even attempt to fix it. I don't know is the answer to that. Janico asked 21 days ago, when are you going to play more Salty Souls? Your tears give me life. You make an excellent point, my friend. Happy birthday, by the way, recently. You make an excellent point. I really should play more Dark Souls and get really super frustrated. I've got the first game, I've got the second game, and I even got the third game, and I even bought Bloodborne as well. So at some point in the near future, I really will play a bit of Dark Souls. Anon asked 22 days ago, have you ever cross-dressed? Does dressing up as fancy dress, does dressing up as Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz count? Because if that does count, then the answer is yes. Otherwise, no. And Tom, Grax for PM, no. I think, thanks to the internet and the amount of stuff I've put on the internet, I do not have a leg to stand on to be a politician. I got too much dirt in my closet for me to be taken seriously. I've been on the exercise bike for an hour. Is that thin enough? Am I thin enough yet? Oh yeah, Michael asked at the beginning of the stream, how long does he need to be listening to me on the exercise bike to become thin? No, I think you need another hour. Ha ha. He also says that was a really good Brexit answer. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say that. Yeah, thank you. That's very kind of you. Oh, okay. It looks like I'm getting to the point where the big bunch of questions is... Oh, hang on. Let me ask this question because it's all in capital locks. Oh, by the way, if you do have any questions in the chat, please do ask them and I will pick them up. Anon asked 1 hour ago, when will this stop? When will they stop messing with our brains, Grax? When? It hurts! Oh, it hurts so much! I don't know. In the next hour or so, or whenever they feel like stopping, because they will never stop. I hope that answers your question, Anon. Why is there so much incest porn around these days? I already answered that question. I got a... hang on. That's interesting. Anon asked 1 hour ago, I've got a date on Tuesday. Got any tips? Take him to a board game themed cafe, like Thirsty Meeples in Oxford. That's a brilliant place to take people on a date because it plays board games. It's a fun place. And... yeah, it gives you a chance to learn about your other person and have a bit of fun. And at least you're not just sitting in a pub just having an interview with each other. Don't get me wrong, I like that. I like going to the pub. I like doing like a chatting to learn about the other person as a date. But it's a fun theme things. It's a fun idea going to a cafe or doing something together. Any other tips? Be honest, be genuine, and give a genuine compliment for the other person. And they'll appreciate that. I mean, and even if it doesn't work out at the end, at least you've been nice and honest and complimentary. In fact, that was one of the things that came up during the podcast Good Sex, Bad Sex with BB Lynch and Miranda Kane. The guest was Jean who wrote Flirtology, and she was talking about how to flirt. Good podcast. Do listen to that. Anon asks 19 days ago, what is the biggest beard you have had? The biggest beard I've ever had was when I grew my beard for a month. For a solid month, and it was quite long and shaggy, but not suddenly down to the length of here. It's just kind of like, you can't see this as microphone away, but say, oh fuck, that's not enough life. Oh fucking hell. A month's worth, which is about a few millimeters. And the thing is, it gets all thick and shaggy around here, but then it is kind of wispy around the mustache. It's not very good. Favorite Pokemon? Anon asked 20 days ago. Charizard is always my favorite Pokemon. I like all the other ones, but Charizard's my favorite. Um, Anon asks, 20 days ago, ever been in a band? No, I haven't, although people have tried to convince me to play an instrument, to learn an instrument. I used to play the clarinet, which I'd stopped doing because I thought it was uncool. Uncool. I tried to learn how to play the bass guitar, but I never finished it. Tried to play the electric guitar, never wanted to learn it, to finish it. Yeah. So no, I haven't been in a band. Anon asked 20 days ago, although I imagine it's very hard in many ways, is there a part of you that is happy to be free and single again? Well, considering my earlier announcement today, that question is no longer really valid. But I can answer that in honesty. Before I met this girl, there was a part of me that was happy to be free and single. Because I had the freedom to do whatever I like, and I wasn't having to worry about somebody else, and I could be spontaneous, which is something I felt like I couldn't do when I was in a relationship with somebody. But maybe that's because I was in a relationship with the wrong person. However, I will admit that I was lonely. I guess I was lonely, and there was like, I'm missing something. And no matter how much I kidded myself thinking, yeah, I could be free and do whatever I like, and I like being single and having that flexibility, I guess deep down that's something I've wanted. Just like a partner of some kind. But not any partner, but just one that was right for me. And I think everybody thinks that way. And I think that's what everybody really wants. However, having said that, I highly, highly recommend people spend time being single for a lengthy period of time. Years, maybe. Maybe that's a bit much. But I highly recommend people being single because people need to be exposed to being independent and to look after themselves. That is the best advice I can give. You need to spend time by yourself to look after yourself and be independent. Then, once you've learned to love yourself, then you can move on to loving another person. Send you a Curious Cat list to Bell, get him to Skype in and ask you the questions while you play the game. That is a very interesting idea, PDT. I like that idea. So rather than me just, I really like that idea. Yeah. Yeah, I really do like that. So the Michael Bell would just be answering me these questions, a bit of interactivity, and he would help me make things go fast. I really like that idea. Thank you. I'm going to talk to Michael about that, see if he's available, that kind of stuff. And I think I'm only going to be doing this like once a month, really. So that'll give me time to generate some questions. And then, yeah, I'm going to talk to Michael about it. And if he doesn't want to do that question kind of stuff, I can always ask somebody else to be my QA man. Grax is like a human Disney film. That's an interesting statement, Tom. Could you care to elaborate on that? Okay, so there's a slight problem with doing this randomly. I'm not making a mark on these questions. Okay, Anon asks 1 hour ago, is RG finished? And the answer is no, we're not finished. We are just taking a break. We're doing our own separate projects. I'm doing my own stuff. Michael Bell's doing his stuff with the Kamikaze Club, and they're currently I believe, Michael, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys are currently doing like tours and around doing comedy sets. Andy's working with John Dredge, doing Dredgeland stuff, ranging from the radio show on Wandsworth Radio, and also is planning to do live shows again. So they've been doing. So yeah, that doesn't mean RG's finished. Like I said, we're going to get back together in March to do a mini podcast series. And watch this space. Let's see. Next question. Let's see. Let's go back a little bit. Let's be honest here. Anon asks 21 days ago, how many of those calendars do you still have? Which are still on sale for £6 each. Go to graxbishop.com/calendar. But we're in the middle of February. I don't think they're worth it anymore. Okay. Michael says this weekend me and Andy are down. Yeah, that would work. Actually, that would work very well, Michael. Yeah. Okay. So back to the question: how many calendars are left over? So. I've managed to get rid of half of them. Whether it be sold or as gifts, I've managed to get rid of half of them. So I currently have 13. Yes, 13 calendars in my flat. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was a little bit ambitious of me, thinking I can get rid of the entire lot. Sell the entire lot. No, over and over 88. It's not 10. I have about 13. 13. Definitely 13. I'm pretty sure it's 13. Okay. Anon asked 21 days ago, are you a morning wanker or an afternoon wanker? How much do you wank? Do you arouse yourself with your stories? I am an evening wanker. Okay. I am an evening wanker. And it depends if I'm in a relationship or not. And if I'm in a relationship, I don't tend to wank very much. If I'm not in a relationship, I'm single, like kind of more frequently, maybe every other day. I don't know. Anon asked 21 days ago, do you ever just want to punch the students off their bikes in Oxford? No, I don't actually. Well, when I was driving around, maybe once or twice. There's just so fucking many of them, man. And it's like really, really dangerous. And then if I was to crash into one of them, it would be my fault. Where's the justice in that? But because I don't drive around anymore, I haven't had a car in half a year. I don't have that urge. Anon asked 6 minutes ago, who do you fancy more, Miranda or BB? Please don't make me choose. Oh God, don't make me choose because they're going to be watching me and I love them both. I think they're absolutely amazing people for their own personal qualities and personal traits, and they're beautiful and sexy in their own way, BB Lynch. That's what I honestly feel like. So, let's see. Wigan Latic. Let's see. Next question. Anon asked 56 minutes ago, Top Gear's shite, isn't it? Well, it used to be okay, but I think it's a product of its time. It used to be a product of its time. Hang on, let me just finish this one. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Top Gear is a product of its time. Three old men talking about cars, and then it stopped being about cars, and it started being more like an entertainment show about these three people that people liked. And then they got bought, and then the three of them got purchased. No. Yeah. Sorry, Grax, keep it short and simple. I liked Top Gear when it was first started off, and then it got old and tired and formulaic, and then they moved over to Amazon's Prime service, and then tried to revive it with Chris Evans and Matt LeBlanc, and I don't think it works anymore. Wigan are class, you know. Well, Wigan are class, you know. We don't need to know that. I'm not asking the question or how long ago. Oh, okay, that's fair enough. I can certainly say that, unless it comes up with a specific name, I'll just say the next question. Oh, let's try that. Which of the cast of Friends do you think would be most sexually adventurous, and why is it Phoebe? It's Phoebe because she's written that way. Although that's kind of interesting because she wasn't initially written to be sexually adventurous, and then they sort of changed the character towards the end of its lifespan. I don't know if you feel the same way. What do you really think of Mike and Andy? I like them both. I think they're fun people. I think they're different personalities, and I think that I honestly think they bounce off each other a lot, very, very well, and I think that maybe I don't bounce off of them as much as they bounce off each other. Because why is that? Because they're very good at just constantly talking and just trying out different things until something really works and then running with it. And I'm not. I'm not very good at that. I tend to overthink things, or I wait until the moment where I say something funny, and it could be fantastic or disastrous. But I'm not very good at constantly talking and talking and talking. But I think they're great people, and I think people should know Mike and Andy and just be their friends. What's the strangest thing you found down the back of the sofa? The strangest thing I found down the back of the sofa is a hamster. It was my hamster because, well, it was gone for a while and I didn't know where it went. And I heard a scratching and I managed to reach down. It was the back of the sofa. PT asks, hang on, do you have a new tattoo in your arm? What's going on there? Oh, what? You mean this? Hang on. You mean... Hold on. Let me just do this. Hang on a second. You mean these? For fuck's... Fucking... You mean these? Well, I'm glad you spotted that, my friend, because... I'll just put that... because I applied... These are temporary tattoos. I bought a product from inkbox.com and I'm going to be doing a review of them in the coming weeks. This is me testing them out just to make sure that they actually work. And... oh, God. Okay. So, yeah. I'm just testing them out, see if they work very well. They should be lasting up for a week, and I will do a review, and that will be on my YouTube channel in the near future. Now, Tom says, I like the Anon stuff. Anyway, so... that answers that question. Thank you, PDT, for the question. Anon did ask 13 days ago, what's the first thing you ever made? The first thing I ever made that I can actually remember is one of those potted... Oh, was that it? Okay, I'll tell you two things. One is one of those potted hedgehogs where you get a ceramic bowl, clay, mash it together, make it into a hedgehog, fire it up in a kiln, and it's a little thing. That's the kind of stuff you make at school. That was the first thing I remember. The other thing I remember was when I was really young. I must have been like 5 or 6. I used to have a yellow skateboard. Every morning, like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, before everybody else in the house woke up. I would creep downstairs. And go around the back to the utility room, and I would paint my yellow skateboard. My mum used to love decorating, and I would take a white paint tin, a tin full of paint, and get a paintbrush and just carefully open the tin and start painting a pattern on my yellow skateboard. I think I was painting a house or something, and I thought I was being so mischievous and naughty and secretive. I didn't believe that anybody knew that I was doing this, and so after I did my little bit of painting, I would then try and carefully put the lid back on and put it exactly where it was and creep back into bed and be really smug in the fact that I did something really, really naughty, which I don't see how painting your skateboard is really naughty, but that's what I used to do when I was a kid. I did that once. The weirdest place you have ever pooed. The weirdest place I have pooed, for me, in the forest. Yeah, pretty much the forest. Although I don't think I could do that nowadays because I'm not very comfortable with the idea of squatting to take a dump. I'm not very comfortable taking a dump squatting, and I struggle with those holes in the floor toilets. I really do. Anon asks 18 days ago, I discovered you through Ranger Pod, and I really loved your chemistry with PDT. You both seem like lovely guys too. Will you be working again anytime soon? I would like to work with PDT, and it's funny you should say that because I met up with him and Quinn in December, I believe it was, and we were talking about doing something together. Not Ranger Pod, that's done, but I would like to do a Let's Play with those guys. And I will admit, it's utterly my fault that that hasn't happened yet. But they're interested in it, and I'm still interested in it. It's just a case of me trying to organize the three of us to get together. So yeah, I would like to work with PDT again. And on 19 Days Ago asks, favorite member of Westlife? I don't really care for Westlife. I don't even know their names, to be honest, except, wait, isn't one of them one of the Irish guys with the eyes and the beard, and it was on Coronation Street once upon a time? Yeah, that guy. Let's go with him. And on asks, how many questions is too many questions? Oh, no, I've already answered that question. It was about that much extra. Let's see. Here's an interesting one. Anon asks, money aside, are you... He asked this 21 days ago. Money aside, are you someone who needs to work? I think the answer is yes. Because I want to have a sense of purpose and achievement and actually progressing towards something. I like that feeling. I like the feeling of progressing towards something, whether it be making a podcast or playing some games or something. I don't want to be one of those people who sit around doing nothing and just waste their life away. Life's too short, and I don't want to go back on a life full of regrets. I mean, I look back on a life full of mistakes, but regrets, that shouldn't be one of those things. How are your cookery skills? I thought they were good once upon a time, but not so good anymore because I tried cooking. I tried cooking for this for this girl that I'm dating. I tried cooking for her, and she saw me listing up all the ingredients. I was taking too long, and she's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, Grax, forget it. You just sit over there. I'll do it." And she just whipped it up in a short amount of time. My biggest problem is I take too long to prepare stuff. Anon asks, 21 days ago, have you ever written fan fiction? No, I haven't. No, I haven't, but maybe I would do one day. Oh, hang on. Where's that question? Anon asked 21 days ago, are you a morning shitter or an evening shitter? I do my best shitting in the morning. So, like, I've had an entire day to do all this eating and kind of stuff. And then when you wake up in the morning, take a dump. Although maybe wait for a couple of hours afterwards, depending on how it is. But typically, morning. And PDT says, yeah, I'll be up for doing something if you found the right thing. And bit jerky there. Yeah, I'd be up for doing the right thing. Okay, I think I've answered this question already. Anon asks, how did you meet Andy and Belle? Andy's my old school friend. We've known each other for a very, very long time. Primary school days, I believe. Yes. He's probably going to hate me for saying it like that. But yeah, I've known him for years. Years and years and years. And he's one of my good friends. Really, really good friends. Michael, however, we met him on Twitter. It was due to the first episode of the RG podcast that Andy and I first recorded, which was in the pub, Wetherspoon's pubs in our own hometown. Michael left a comment and we started interacting with him, and we invite as creepy as this sounds, we invited Michael to come join us in my flat in Oxford to do a podcast recording, and he'd never met us before, and we picked him up at the train station in Oxford. It was like a little bit of a seedy thing. Michael, if you're in the chat still, please do chime in with your stories. And how did you feel, Michael, when you arrived at the train station to meet me and Andy for the first time? Yeah, but that was the first time I met them. So Michael I've known for, is it 4 years, 5 years? But Andy I've known for like a good couple of decades. Anon asked 21 days ago, do you buy into the whole vinyl revival thing? I'm not into vinyl. I don't see the huge benefit, and sound quality nowadays is so good, almost pitch perfect. There's no reason for vinyl. Anon asked 1 hour ago, nobbing, yeah, nobbing, yeah, nobbing, yeah, 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 nobbing, woo. It's not really a question, is it? Michael Burr said, I was genuinely convinced that I was going to be taken hostage in 2014. They both approached me walking in tandem. They pointed at the car. They pointed at the car. Yep, that's about right. Let's see. Huh. Anon asked 2 hours ago. My mate Dave reckons that the holes in potato waffles are for beans to live in. Do you think he'll die first in the zombie apocalypse? Yes. Yes, I think he will. I don't know how he'll die. Anon asked 2 hours ago. Predictions for Brexit. What's going to happen? Okay. I'm going to make this call right now. So it's bookmarked for today. Today being Sunday, the 17th of February, 2019. My prediction for Brexit is it's going to get delayed by 3 months because Theresa May is going to do everything she can to stay in power for herself or for her party because she has a strange desire to keep the party together despite this incredibly divisive thing. I think that we are going to end up with a deal of some kind that nobody will like. Nobody will like at all. And I think that the house prices will probably still stay the same despite, well, certainly in Oxford, they'll still stay the same. I don't think house prices will crash. And I think that things will probably be staying the same to a point, but I do believe that the poor will get poorer and the rich will get richer, and people will start becoming more apathetic, more so because of the fact that we're so tired of this Brexit discussion that seems to be going nowhere, that people will suffer because no one will care, and it's sad. It really is. It's utterly sad, and it's a fucking stupid decision they made. Let's see. Favorite Simpsons character? If I had to really stretch, I would say Homer Simpson. This is what Anon asked 13 days ago. Homer Simpsons, but I really don't like The Simpsons. I haven't liked The Simpsons since Series 9, and that's a classic answer. I really think they should have stopped. They really should have stopped The Simpsons around Series 9 or 10, and then that way it could have been funny and timeless and classic. And then all this controversy, like say for example Apu being racist, you could say one, it's a product of its time, and two, they're actually being more smart than people seem to give them credit. But now it's just it's a corpse. Although having said that, I will watch the last ever episode of The Simpsons they record. Okay, so let's go back to some of the earlier questions. Okay, so Anon asked 21 days ago, do you want to build a snowman? No. Actually, that's not true. I do want to build a snowman. Anon asked 21 days ago, seriously, why not write something that isn't porn? You're right, I really should write something that's not porn. And in fact, I'll probably be writing something better if it's not porn, because that's easier to write. Maybe a horror story, I don't know. Let's see. I don't know if I've answered this already, but I'm going to ask her again. Anon asked 22 days ago, would you do Vlogtober again? Yes, actually, I have answered this, and the answer is yes, I would. But I would do like a video thing where it's like a daily vlog and then becomes more and more corrupt towards the end. Spoiler alert. Here we go. Anon asked 22 days ago, new Twitch stream? I wouldn't do one because I don't want to get banned on Twitch. I mean, I'm still trying to grow my following, and they don't look upon nudity quite kindly. So no, I will not do a nude stream. Oops. Next question is your erotica supposed to make people have massive erect penis? It's not meant to do anything. Milk Magazine Incorporated is supposed to be an entertainment thing. And it's supposed to be a bit of fun for me and a bit of fun for you. If you get massive erections because of it, hey, more power to you. That's what I say. Favorite radio show? Favorite radio show? I don't really listen to the radio. Honestly, I listen to podcasts and stuff like that. When I was in a relationship, when we were driving to and from work, we would listen to radio too. And at the time, it was Chris Evans, because BBC Radio 2 was like the Switzerland of listening stuff. Like, my ex and I, we didn't have the same taste in music, and this was the most neutral thing to listen to. I did like Simon Mayo on BBC Radio 2 before, you know. I know I want to keep these short, but you know, it's just like fucking hell. Simon Mayo had the perfect format and they fucked it up, and I don't know why they fucked it up, but they fucked it up by splitting up the band and then making Joe Wiley go into the 5 o'clock slot with Simon Mayo to try and do some kind of duo thing, like some sort of pairing thing, and it just didn't work. And this is just a rant. It just didn't work. The chemistry wasn't there. They might be nice, pleasant people, but it was just fucking shit. It was utterly shit. Simon Mayo was like an established character with a certain rhythm and such. And Joe Wiley's trying to be young despite being a mum. And that's just what I think about her style. It's odd. And they just don't gel. They don't bounce off each other. And it was awkward. It's fucking awkward, man. I mean, ultimately, it's not there anymore. And Sarah Cox on Radio 2. I really like Sarah Cox, and I'm so happy that she's got a good slot because she deserves it. She really does. Nanonic said, "Nobbing, yeah!" I agree. Anon asked 22 days ago, have you ever dropped a mug that you really, really, really loved? No, but there was that one time I dropped that mug when I was listening to Tom talking about, when I was, oh, fuck. That's embarrassing. PDT asks, so you're saying you like cocks? Yes, I do like cocks. Phew. Thanks, Pete. You got me out of an awkward situation there. Let's see. Anon asks, favorite wrestler ever? Favorite wrestler ever? There's quite a few of them, actually. If we're talking about the classic stuff, no, actually, no. Let's just pick one. I would say Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Actions. Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was my favorite wrestler. He just had the right attitude, and it was fun to watch and all that kind of stuff. There are plenty of other classic stuff, but Stone Cold Steve Austin. Anon asked 21 days ago, right, following your recent story about Raj, does it reflect kinks you have in real life? Are you a top, a middle, or neither? The stories I wrote in Milk Magazine Incorporated, some of them, and I have mentioned it on live on the stream, some of them are fantasies that I've had that I would like to act out. Not all of them, but some of them. Like, I mentioned this before, I think it would be quite fun to have sex in the toilet. I don't know why. It just seems like a seedy, dirty thing to do. I mean, I'd rather not get caught in the toilet because how embarrassing would that be? But the Raj story itself, oh, sorry, did I say top middle? I said, are you a top or a bottom or neither? Top, bottom, or neither? And to answer that question, I prefer to be on bottom, and I prefer the girl to be on top because it can go deeper, It can help touch the better spots and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I like being on the bottom. And it's not because I'm being lazy. I hope that answers your question. Okay. I think I've answered this question, but I'm going to answer it again. You have the means to make one change in your personal timeline. What would you change? What would you do to help? What do you hope the outcome will be? And answer that, and the answer would be if the big change that I would make in my life is I would be more fit. My health and fitness would be the big thing. I would be slim and trim and muscular and not fat, and I would make more of an understanding and more of an effort, and not take my health for granted. Because I would hope that being slimmer and thinner would mean I would be more confident and more happy in myself. And I understand all this all different kinds of beauty. Ultimately, everyone should be happy in their skin, and they should be happy and healthy. That's the important thing. You can look like any shape you like, as long as you're actually physically healthy. If you're not physically healthy, you need to do something about it. And I need to do something about me, because I am not physically healthy. So yeah, that answers that question. I'll go back and make myself healthier and do healthy things. Let's see. Anon asks, what books, TV genre? Oh my god. What books, TV, films, games, and music are you enjoying at the moment? All right, make them quick, make them fast. Books. The books I've been reading right now is comic books, and I've been really enjoying the Immortal Hulk Marvel Comics. I've really enjoyed that. I think it's a fun take on the Incredible Hulk storyline. TV, what was the last thing I watched? I really liked Rick and Morty. I watched the entirety of that series. Incredibly funny and clever stuff. At least it's clever for me. Films. The last film that I watched was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And that is an amazing film. It is art. I highly recommend you watch that. Games, Dragon Ball FighterZ. I've been really getting into that game a lot, and I've really enjoyed that so much. I'm surprised I did. Music is always metal, and all different genres of metal, but I think groove metal and thrash metal are my choices, and melodic death metal is one of them. And those are the things I've been enjoying. The band I've recently discovered is called Distrage, Destrage, an Italian melodic metal band, and they're really good. I recommend them highly. Let's see. Answer that one. I think I've answered that one. Have I answered this one? Let's find out. Anon asked 21 days ago, what's going on with Graham Linehan? I don't know who that is. Let's find out together, shall we? Graham Linehan. I don't know who. Do I know this guy? Not personally. I'm afraid I know some of his work, like I know the IT Crowd and the Father Ted and Black Book, etc., etc. But I don't know him, and I don't know what he's doing and what's going on. I can't answer that question, I'm afraid. I'm not making up genres. They're genuine metal genres. Right. After this, Peter, I'm going to send you a link to this guy who does metal covers of all these different riffs, and I'll show you all the different genres which occur in the world of heavy metal. No, not fucking heavy metal. Heavy metal is a genre. Metal in general, I say to you. Let's see. Let's see. Answer that one. That one. I'm going to cut this bit out. Hang on. Bang. Uh, feel better for knowing. Do it, don't do it. Neonic says. Neonic says, don't do it. Feel better for not knowing he is a pudgy-faced old cunt. Bring back gothic doom metal. Gothic doom metal, not my thing. It's okay, but I'm not. I prefer something which has got a bit of a groove. And the thing about metal, right, is the voice is really important. It is an instrument, just like all the other instruments of a band. And if you get the voice wrong, it ruins the entirety of the song. You just want to just get rid of the voice. But yeah, like for example, Nemec used to be a great melodic death metal band, and they went through 2 singers. And the first singer was amazing; he just was perfect for the song. And then the second singer they got on just wasn't doing it for me, and it's a real shame. Real shame indeed. So getting the right singer is important. Let's see. I think we're getting close to the end. One of the things I've been doing is what I should have done was going back to all these Curious Cat questions and just answer them, so that people can actually see them on my page, and then then I would be like a bookmark of where I'm going through. If you've got any more questions, feel free to answer them in the chat whilst I'm looking through this list. Anon asked 19 days ago, would it be fun to be a nature film crew member? I think the answer is yes. Because there's the excitement of tracking down the right animal to get the perfect shot. But when you do get, and a lot of the time it'll be wasted because you might not get the perfect shot. But when you do, beautiful shot. Let's see. Anon asked 2 hours ago, do you think Andy's only into the sound man thing so he can knob some funny fanny? I don't think that. I don't know who answered that question, but yeah, I don't think that he's into this sound man thing. I think he has a genuine passion for sound, much more than me. I have to say, he's much more knowledgeable when it related to sound. Right, I think. Okay, I think I've got 3 questions left. I got 3 questions left in this Curious Cat stuff. So here we go. So Anon asked 21 days ago, are you good with money? And the answer is, usually I am, but sometimes I make a big expensive purchase, and it takes me a bit of time to recover from that. But usually I'm quite good with money. What was the last email you sent? What was the last one you received? The last email I sent was talking to a guy where he needs to come to my flat where we can talk about making a brochure for an event that's coming up. Children Singing for Children. That's the event. And he needs to come to my place so we can talk about that. It's a send and receive email. Not interesting at all. It's a boring answer, but it's a true answer. Anyway, there was one last question. Okay, this is going to be really hard for me to answer because my knowledge of comedians is very, very limited. So yeah, let me try anyway. So it might take me a bit of time. The question is, 2 hours ago, Anon asks, name 6 comedians who aren't sex pests. We will reconvene in 10 years' time to see if you're right. This is the thing. I don't really know that many comedians by name. So I'm just going to list the ones I can think of. And if I've got them wrong, I do apologize. So Bill Bailey, Kevin Bridges, let's see, Sarah, what's her name? Oh no, give me a second. If you guys know these chats, Hi Tom, how you doing? Oh come on, Sarah, Sarah, Mac, Sarah Milliken, Sarah Milliken, um, Miranda Hart, and Michael Bell. Yes, yes, that's it. Yeah, I think these six comedians are not sex pests, and we'll reconvene in 10 years' time to see if I'm right or wrong. And that's it. That's genuinely the end of the Michael Bell is definitely a sex pest. Well, I got that wrong. Okay, let's try another one. What's that guy's name? I'm blanking on his name. He was the guy in the IT crowd. Richard IT crowd. Richard Ayoade. Richard Ayoade. Ayoade? Yeah, I think he's legit and seems nice, like a nice chance. Oh, wait, he's not a comedian? Really? Well, according to Wikipedia, he's a actor, a comedian, writer, director, and television presenter. So, well, that's interesting because Wikipedia thinks he's a comedian. Um, that's an interesting question. PDT, why do you think that Wikipedia thinks that Richard's a comedian, and yet you think he's not? Hmm. Shapi Koshandi. Yes. Wow. Yes, that is a comedian, and that was one of the comedians I actually saw on the Good Sex Bad Sex podcast live recording. I keep getting on. Apparently he did do some stand up a long time ago, but then so did I. Twitter thinks Rachel Riley is a comedian. Uh, okay, that's fair. Okay, that's absolutely fair. I think those are good statements. Thank you for correcting me. Um, okay, so Richard doesn't count. Well, that was a good name. Richard doesn't count. Uh, I've I guess David Mitchell isn't a comedian either. I mean, he's a comedic actor, and I think Jimmy Carr, but he stinks of sex pest all over. Oh, here we go. That'll do. Catherine Parkinson. Catherine Parkinson. No, she's an actress. Fuck! You see what I mean? I really don't know any comedians. My knowledge is lacking. Oh, that one. That one. So, let me see if I can find that question. Where is it? Let's see. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. It's around here somewhere. Where the fuck is it? Let's see. Hmm. Yeah, I think this is the question. Yeah, I think this is the question here. Anon asked 21 days ago, why does Richard Gray call himself Grax Bishop? It's a good name. It's a good name, and I think that it's a name that I like. I mean, there's more to the story than that, but that's the honest answer. I like the name. It's a good name. Uh, oh, yeah, there's another one I just missed. Anon asked 21 days ago, I've stolen this one, but Desert Island Dicks. If you had to be stranded on a desert island with 5 other people called Richard, what would they be? Who would they be, sorry? Other guys called Richard. Huh. It's a good name, though, isn't it? So Richard A. Oh wait, more story. I asked that 2 hours ago. Why'd you call yourself Graxamane? Why'd you changed? More story. Okay, fine. Uh, so yeah, the reason why I call myself Grax Bishop is because the name Grax came from the fact that my surname. I have terrible handwriting, and I was once writing on my membership name, on my membership card, that the Y looked like an X, and that's why the Grax came about. And I really liked it. And in fact, Andy was there at the time when that mistake was occurred, and we had a good laugh about it. And I really liked it, so I kept it. The surname Bishop came from the game Second Life, and I decided. And in Second Life, all those years ago, what 10 years ago, I think you could only choose the surname from a list of preset surnames. I don't know if that's true now, but back then that was the case. And I always used the name Grax in various things. Like, for example, in Star Wars Galaxies, I was Grax Japor. And Japor was the name which was created from, let's see, the first few letters of your grandma's surname and the first few letters of the place you were born, that kind of stuff. What else? So yeah, but in terms of Bishop, Bishop was the one that sounded the best in Second Life. Grax Bishop. I can't remember the other ones. So that's where the name comes about. And that is who I am. And it's a really complicated thing because I'm not known one name throughout the entire place. I have 2 names, well 3 if you count my nickname. So I was Richard, Richie, and all that kind of stuff. But it's like I never ever came up with a good answer for why do I have 2 identities, that kind of stuff. And it's not even like coming up with like a stupid answer or a silly answer. It's I like those names. I really do like both those names. And it was funny. I was actually talking to this girl I was dating about this. I like those names, but I kind of prefer to be called Grax online and with a group of friends which I really trust. But I understand if you don't want to call me that. If you want to call me by my actual name, I respect that. Just don't call me Dick. I don't like being called Dick. Why was it the Grax domain though? Grax domain was because because when I was first creating the website graxdomain.co.uk, it was like a domain name thing, and it was just like the Grax domain was the website that the domain was mine. The website was my domain, and I could have done whatever I like. So it was my domain. That's why I called it the Grax domain. And then while I was saying Grax domain, I just kind of like it rolled off the tongue when I was first doing YouTube videos. And then over the years, I just kept saying Grax domain here and all that kind of stuff. And then I was thinking, well, you know what? I want to be taken a bit more seriously. Maybe I should try and do Grax Bishop, which is why I'm trying to train myself to say Grax Bishop, which is my name. But I still slip in saying, hey, everybody, Grax domain here. And that's the story of my name. It's funny, I didn't think you'd ask me that question. I thought somebody else would have done. But yeah. It's kind of interesting. Thank you for asking that question. Richard Steinbank 5 times. Really? Cloning Richard Steinbank 5 times? That is an interesting idea. But, yeah. And with that being said, I think that caused this end of the session of my Q&A. Again, thank you so much for watching me, and I'm sorry I had to come down on your heart tonight. No, that's okay. I mean, you have every right to make your comments and to make your opinions heard. And you did have some good opinions, and you did have some genuinely good ideas. So thank you. I do respect that. But yes, everybody else, thank you very much for watching my stream. I've answered all the questions, I think. Maybe I've missed one or two, but we'll find out next time. If you want to keep asking me some more questions, by all means do. Yeah, send me the questions on curiouscat.me/GraxBishop. I can keep asking those questions and I'll answer them next time. And I'll definitely give the idea of getting Michael and Andy to ask me those questions a quick fire round kind of way. And again, like I said before I end the streaming quickly, you can follow me by clicking on the heart up above me, and click on the heart, follow me. I would really appreciate that. I'm trying to get to affiliate as always. You can catch me up on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/GraxBishop. And you can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, which is all Grax Bishop. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching my stream. I'm not going to do Catherine now because it's late and I want to go to bed. It's been a long weekend. I got some editing as well. In fact, I'll do this. This will be much more productive. I will end the stream and then I'll cut the video for these 2 sessions, and then I will schedule them up to be released this week. So no Catherine this week. I'll save that for next week. Thank you very much for watching my stream, and I will see you all next time.